Yo, what is going on everyone? Guiding Light here, back with another Borderlands 3 video. And this one, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how it is that you can go about getting a ton of easy and fast legendary items here in Borderlands 3. So I've already gotten tons of legendaries, probably at least over 50. I've even started dropping some for tons of people in my lobbies, my friends, and just whoever I come across, sending out gifts. So some of the legendaries that I first started getting were worth like $2,000 or $3,000. And now that I've gotten to the point where I'm at, some of the legendaries that I'm getting are worth upwards of 20, 30, and some of the rocket launchers are even worth like 50 and 60,000 when I sell them. So I want to talk to you guys about a bunch of different methods that you guys can use to get tons of different legendaries starting pretty early on in the game. So you can start getting legendaries as early as like level 10 or 15. So if you just want to start grinding legendaries straight away, you do want to try to find these target of opportunity missions and also the legendary hunt missions. These can be found on each planet, and in most of the destinations on the planet, there's going to be at least one of these locations. Now, the reason you want to try to find these is because they have the best drop chances when it comes to dropping legendary loot, and you can also farm these missions. So there's going to be a lot of high-level enemies that drop great loot, and when you're done with the mission, you can immediately farm it again. So after you finish the mission, you can just back out, reload into the nearest spawn location, and you can go right back to the room, clear it out again, which will give you another chance at a legendary. Now, all of these boss monsters have a specific legendary that they drop, like a specialized weapon. Then once you get it, you want to try to move on to the next boss. So this will work early on in the game. You can just continuously do these small missions. It's going to get you XP, it's going to level you up, but most importantly, it's also going to give you the small chance at getting those legendaries. Now, as you continue and progress onto the game a little bit more, you can actually get legendaries from a lot of different areas, and there's a lot of great ways that you can go about doing that after you beat the main campaign. So after you beat the main campaign, you're going to unlock different mayhem modes. Now, mayhem mode is going to offer you a 100% loot boost, but as you can see there, in mayhem mode 3, you actually get up to a 500% chance in better drops. Now, once you guys have activated the mayhem mode 3, what I suggest doing is going into the matchmaking system. It's going to make doing these missions a lot easier. It's also going to make it so that you can go back and maybe even help out some people in the community. The reason you want to do this is because you're going to be back on those main story missions. Most of those main story missions are very long, have lots of enemies in them, and they also have a boss at the end which can grant you a legendary weapon. After completing more of the end game, you'll also unlock the Salvatore 3000, which is sort of like an endless mode. You can get insane amounts of loot in here, but I don't want to go in here and spoil too much about what this stuff is like. But after completing some of the objectives in here, after completing all these crazy long waves of enemies, you can get insane amounts of weapons, especially legendaries, but it's just going to depend on the mayhem mode you're on. Now, you do want to try to come in here with matchmaking turned on because it just makes everything go way faster, and then a lot of people end up dropping their weapons and stuff that they don't need, so it makes the loot even better as well. Now, as you get into the end game, you're also going to earn something called a Guardian rank. As you level up your Guardian rank, you can actually increase your luck. So each and every time that you level up Guardian rank, you're going to be able to spend a skill point. And sometimes the option to choose luck as an option will come up, and every time that you do that, your drop chances will increase. So it just depends how many tokens you want to put into that skill attribute, but that also will increase your legendary output every time that you complete an event or kill an enemy. So enemies that have multiple shields generally have the best chance to drop legendaries. Anytime that I kill a tank or something that has a lot of health, it always seems to drop me a legendary, especially when I'm on Mayhem 3. So you may stumble across some anointed enemies. You may also stumble across a lot of tank-like characters when going through the different side missions. So that's another great way that you guys can actually get legendary items. You're going to see here that towards the end of this side mission that really only took me like maybe 5 or 10 minutes, I was actually rewarded with 2 different legendaries just from killing the stronger monsters towards the end. Now, if you're having trouble killing enemies on Mayhem level 3, I have another method that's actually not going to require you to get any kills at all. So after a little while, I did find this method to be a little bit boring, but it is extremely easy, and you definitely won't need to get any kills while doing it. So this location is located on Pandora, and you want to load up the Cathedral of Twin Gods. Here you're going to find a spawn location just outside of a big giant wall. Now, you want to spawn right in on this location and go straight over to the Catch a Ride. So if you take your vehicle only 15 seconds around the corner, you're going to be able to find a cave that has a ton of iridium in it, and it also has chests in it which can easily grant you legendary weapons. So this is a really easy farm that you guys can get going. You just have to follow the exact same route every single time. So we're going to end up in this little cave right here. Now sometimes even just on the way to this cave, you guys can find chests along the way. I'll show you guys exactly where those chests are located, and on certain runs I was able to get 3, even 4 chests all in one run. So watch out for that little place right there, because you can actually fall off the map and die. You want to go over this bridge here on the right. You can use a lot of boosts to get over here, and you don't really need to worry about any of these enemies. Like I said, you don't actually have to kill anyone for this method. You're looking for this little garage here, so once you stop here, you can actually go underneath. If you want to kill a few of the enemies behind you, you can, because there's a chance that they'll drop weapons for you, especially on Mayhem 3. So if you have a grenade, why not just toss one down there really quick? But either way, guys, you want to head through this cave and just up on top of these boxes. Here's where you're going to find the main chest spawn. This chest will spawn almost every single time. Like I said though, guys, there's a couple more chest spawns, but they're just not guaranteed. But what is guaranteed is the iridium. So every single time that you come up here, you can break iridium off the chest. You can break the crystals along the side. So this is not only good for legendaries, but it's also extremely good for iridium, which can then be spent in those vending machines for cosmetic items and iridium weapons as well. So after completing one run, all you need to do is back out of the game. You'll see there that I actually was given 1 gold, 1 legendary, and there's also one of the translation things back here if you guys have not hit that yet. But in order to farm this, what you need to do is just quit out of your game right there on the spot. Everything will save. You then need to just load it right back up, and you'll notice that in just a few seconds we're able to do this all over again. Keep in mind though, guys, every run there's going to be loot in different places, so I'm going to go through this run like 2 or 3 times so I can show you guys where every possible chest can spawn and where all the iridium spawns as well. Now you don't want to miss any of these chests, because every chest you open is going to have a better chance of getting you a legendary item. So once you spawn back in, you'll find yourself right at the wall. You can immediately respawn your vehicle and start the route over again. Now sometimes there's actually going to be a chest that spawns right here at the catch a ride. I'll show you exactly where on the next run, because I do believe it spawns in then. As you can see on my right there, I actually missed a chest on this run because there's a lot of different chest spawn locations here. We're going to go over every single one though so that you guys don't miss any. So as you guys can see, this is a different run, but the iridium has spawned all in pretty much the exact same places. So again, we're able to crack this open, crack open the chest, and we are given yet another weapon. Now, not every single time you open this chest are you going to get a gold. Sometimes you're going to get purples. Sometimes you're just going to get greens. But you can make tons of money and you can get tons of legendaries if you just keep up with this route. So we're going to back out again, and I'll show you guys that when we get back to the garage, we're going to have totally different loot. The chests are going to spawn in different places. So this time there's actually an iridium chest here to my left. So there's even more iridium that can spawn down here. And there's even more chests that we can open. So each and every time you'll have a better chance of getting loot. As you can see here, I get a weapon worth 55,000. So this route really only takes about a minute's time, and I only did it for about 25 minutes, and I was given about 3 legendaries. On top of that, I got about 100 iridium, and after selling all those guns, I had over $1 million. So if you did this for an entire hour, the loot would just be absolutely ridiculous. You'd probably get somewhere around 300 iridium, somewhere around $2 million, and maybe around like 5 to 7 legendaries. So as you spec up your character, you can increase your luck, and on top of that, you can look for different armor pieces and artifacts that will increase your luck attribute as well. This will really help when going through these farming methods, especially the ones that require you to back out of your game and just constantly open up chests. So using this method, I was able to buy a ton of these SDU upgrades, able to upgrade all my ammo capacity and everything like that. So if you do this just for maybe 2 hours time, you'll probably be able to buy every single upgrade in here, which is pretty nice. I've gotten almost halfway done with most of my upgrades, and I was only doing this for like 30 minutes time, but you have to keep in mind I was also grinding out a lot of the story, a lot of the side missions as well, and I've already invested quite a bit in here as well. So hopefully this method helps you guys to get all of your upgrades, buy as many things as you guys need here in Borderlands 3. This is a great way to get money, legendaries, and also iridium, so hopefully I can help you guys get all 3 of those things here in one simple video. If you ever stumble across a rare spawn mission, be sure to jump on that as soon as possible. But before going into it, be sure to put on a Mayhem Mode 3. These are just, again, really easy bosses like the ones I talked about at the beginning of the video. But they only come up every so often, and they have a really high chance of dropping legendaries. So as you guys can see here, I put it on Mayhem 3, went and killed the boss in maybe like 1 minute's time, and got 2 really amazing legendaries out of it. So that's another thing to keep in mind when farming here in Borderlands. Now, I tried to back out and actually go back to the exact same location to see if maybe the monster would spawn again, but unfortunately it does not. You have to wait for the quest to pop back up in Sanctuary. Every so often when you go to Sanctuary, you will see an exclamation point, which is a side mission. You'll find it on a wall, and it's kind of like a little bounty to just go out and kill one of these rare spawned monsters. So that's pretty much it for me in this video. Hopefully it helps you guys out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.